Where do I start? You're going down a very dangerous road. And we ain't been down dangerous roads before. But that's the risk you take. Me, I take that
But you're
risk.
not where I am. I give to charities, I pay my taxes.
Let's remember something. I put you where you are today. It's because of me.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and time for another episode of Luke's Reviews. On today's video, let's travel back to the 1950s America for a gangster tale that stars not just one, but two Robert De Niros. This is my review of the Alto Knights. Frank Costello, Vito Genovese. Two names synonymous with the criminal underworld of America. Business is booming, although both of these former friends and partners are gradually approaching their twilight years. With Vito having recently been released from a spell behind bars, Frank has assumed control of the crime family. But now that Vito's out, Frank is willing to step down and leave this world behind. Unfortunately for him, Vito and others aren't as eager for this, and when Frank's life is endangered, a gang war threatens to ignite. Going into Alto Knights, I was somewhat unfamiliar with these two figures. I'd heard their names tossed around here and there. So what I was hoping from the film was that it would simultaneously entertain, but also educate me on these two people and their ventures. And having now left my screening of Alto Knights, I can confidently say that I know a heck of a lot more about these two guys than I did before going in. What I can't say, however, though, is that I was particularly entertained. Director Barry Levinson has his fair share of great hits. Rain Man, Bugsy, Good Morning Vietnam, and he does manage to keep this film from ever dragging to a complete halt. The primary issue that it seems to be suffering from, though, is that it appears to have swallowed the How to Gangster 101 book in its entirety. I mean, I get that it's telling a true story, so it can't deviate too much, but in that case, then just switch up the presentation a little. Robert De Niro's playing two roles, okay, cool, but what else are you gonna do? Speaking of De Niro, it's quite impressive for him to be taking on this dual performance and to make both of the characters distinctly different as they were in real life. Frank is typically cool, calm, and collected. I mean, he's almost assassinated in the lobby of his own home, and he appears to shake it off like it was nothing. Vito, however, is more of a loose cannon, and with heavy prosthetics, De Niro does a good job at depicting two completely contrasting personalities. The only question I have, though, and I don't think the film does a good enough job of answering, is why did De Niro have to play both? There was never that much of an illusion that they looked similar, and given he's got heavy prosthetics on to play Vito, they don't look similar. So I don't know why we needed De Niro as both characters. I actually think the film would have been better off if you brought in another highly decorated actor to play one of the others. Yeah, it confuses me. Cosmo Jarvis, who some of you might recognize from the show Shogun, it's a fantastic show, but he's totally unrecognizable in this film. From the makeup to just his general physicality, he does very well here. Much of the story plays out in a very generic fashion. I can guarantee that you will have seen many of these story beats in at least 20 other gangster movies, but for a film that had clearly taken its time to tell a lot of this story, the ending happens so abruptly. I was comfortably expecting there to be about 20 minutes more for this film, but then it just suddenly fades to black, we get text on screen, and then boom, end credits, it's done. I'm not going to go so far as to say that my expectations for Alto Knights were sky high, considering that traditional gangster movies are not my preferred genre of choice, but the pedigree involved with this project was intriguing. All in all, it wound up to be a paint-by-numbers How to Gangster Movie 101 that just so happened to star the king of the gangster genre, Robert De Niro. Is it bad? Well, far from it. But it's also far from the best work done by anyone else involved. So I'm going to give the Alto Knights a 5.5 out of 10. Anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on the Alto Knights. Let me know, have you had a chance to see the film yet? What did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And my question to you, I would like to know, who do you think is the most iconic movie gangster? I know a lot of people are going to say Don Corleone from The Godfather. Marlon Brando is fantastic, of course, and that is probably the right answer. But switch things up. Throw me some curveballs. Who do you think it is? But this is all the time we have for today. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to click that like button, and if you aren't already, click that subscribe button too.